Hello Dub Nation, it's always a thrill to connect with you, especially as we're about to reveal the latest news that could shape the fate of our beloved Golden State Warriors. But before we dive into this whirlwind of information, let me make a friendly request. Show us some love by clicking the like button to strengthen our bond, and hey, if you are not subscribed yet, join our channel for a thrilling and emotional journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay ahead of the game.
Jimmy Butler 3 disappears as Warriors fall 117-110 to Edwards, Timberwolves. It felt like a must-win Game 4 for the Golden State Warriors, and yet, they played like a team without its spark. Missing Steph Curry once again, the Dubs dropped their third straight game in a crushing 117-110 home loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now down 3-1 in the series, it's win or go home in Game 5, and the road leads back to Minnesota. Draymond Green came out with purpose after a lackluster Game 3, attacking the boards, pushing the pace, and trying to take pressure off Jimmy Butler 3, who faded late in the last game. Alongside him, Jonathan Kuminga gave Golden State a real shot at redemption. The 2021 lottery pick continued his breakout postseason run, scoring 16 first-half points and playing with impressive control and patience on both ends. By halftime, the Warriors held a slim 60-58 lead, even with Butler on the bench for a critical 6-minute stretch. But then, the tide turned. Minnesota's stars, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, weren't about to let the Warriors back in without a fight. Randle punished Golden State's small ball lineups, muscling his way inside and drilling 2 open threes off defensive breakdowns. He put up 19 in the first half alone. The Warriors needed Butler to answer. But playoff Jimmy? He never showed. After a dominant 33-point Game 3, Butler was almost invisible in Game 4. Meanwhile, Edwards smelled blood in the water. He erupted for 14 points in the fourth quarter, leading a 17-0 Wolves run that put the game out of reach. Even when Edwards picked up his fourth foul late in the third, Golden State failed to capitalize. The offense sputtered, and the deficit ballooned to 15+. There was no second gear. For the second game in a row at Chase Center, a different veteran let the Warriors down. Game 3? Draymond disappeared. Game 4? Butler looked disinterested, or maybe just drained. Green bounced back with 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists, but Butler's quiet 14 points on just 9 shots, along with a painful -30+, told the real story. He didn't have it. And yet, Kuminga did. Again. The 21-year-old logged 23 points in 30 minutes, hitting 11 of 12 from the free throw line and continuing to be Golden State's most consistent force in Curry's absence. If you'd told the Warriors they'd get this version of Kuminga in Games 3 and 4, they'd have bet on at least one win. But it wasn't enough. As the clock wound down, more than 4 minutes remaining and down 20+, Kerr waved the white flag. The bench unit made a mini 7-0 push, just enough to make the final score look respectable, but the outcome was never in question. Edwards finished with 30 points, 6 of 11 from deep, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals in just 33 minutes. Randle added 31. McDaniels posted a 10-point, 13-rebound double-double. And the Wolves shot nearly 50% from 3 as a team, while the Warriors hit just 8 of 27, 29.6%. If the Warriors are clinging to any hope in Game 5, it lies in the law of averages. Maybe the Timberwolves finally cool off from deep. But let's be honest. Without Curry, Golden State looks lost. Green and Butler have been inconsistent, Buddy Hield has been a non-factor, and aside from Kuminga, the rest of the young core seems hesitant to even shoot. Kerr's admitted to experimenting with lineups. And this team, for all its talk of honoring Curry's legacy, has looked more like it's waiting for him to save them than stepping up in his absence. Minnesota has all the momentum heading back home. The Warriors? They have questions. Whether it's age, injuries, or focus, this just doesn't feel like a team ready to fight for another ring. And unless something dramatic changes, Wednesday might be the last time we see them together this season. The fallout from Game 4 wasn't just felt on the court, it echoed through the Warriors' locker room, the media, and the fan base. After the final buzzer, Draymond Green spoke candidly, his voice laced with frustration. "We didn't match their urgency," he admitted. "We knew what was at stake, but we just didn't bring it when it mattered." Green, who had bounced back with a stronger performance, seemed especially disheartened by the lack of collective response. You can't expect 1 or 2 guys to carry this thing. Everyone's gotta want it. Jimmy Butler, meanwhile, Offered little. His post-game interview was brief, subdued. Didn't play well. That's on me, he said, avoiding eye contact, and disappearing behind the locker room curtain. For someone known for his fiery playoff intensity, it was a stark contrast, and a troubling sign for a team that desperately needs leadership. Around the league, the conversation shifted. Pundits questioned whether the dynasty has finally run its course. ESPN's J.J. Redick said on air, "This isn't just about missing Steph. It's about the lack of identity when he's not there. You can't tell me this team believes in itself right now." TNT's Charles Barkley was more blunt. "This ain't the same Warriors team. They're tired. They're older. And they don't scare anyone anymore." The Wolves, on the other hand, are being taken seriously. Anthony Edwards has elevated his profile this postseason, and after Game 4, teammates and coaches alike couldn't stop praising his maturity and killer instinct. "He wants the moment," said head coach Chris Finch. "He's fearless. That's what separates stars from superstars." Julius Randle, who has had his share of playoff scrutiny in New York, looked reborn in Minnesota. "We're locked in. Every guy knows their role, and we trust each other," Randle said after the win. And Ant? He's the real deal. Off the court, the Warriors' internal pressure is building. With free agency looming and a looming salary cap crunch, questions swirl around the future of the core. Will the front office move on from aging vets like Green or Butler this summer? Is Kuminga ready to be a cornerstone, or just a bright spot in a dark chapter? Even Steve Kerr's coaching decisions have drawn criticism. His admission of throwing away Game 2 by testing new lineups has not sat well with fans, especially with the series now hanging by a thread. "You can't afford to experiment in the playoffs," one Warriors insider said. "Not when you're down your best player." And speaking of Curry, his status remains uncertain. The team announced he will be re-evaluated ahead of Game 5, but sources close to the situation say he's unlikely to return at full strength, even if cleared. "It's a long shot," one team doctor reportedly told The Athletic. "Even if he plays, it might just be symbolic." Symbolic or not, the Warriors need something, anything, to ignite them in Game 5. The Timberwolves now smell blood. They're younger, deeper, and playing with a collective chip on their shoulder. And unless Golden State finds a way to rediscover its championship DNA, fast, this series could be the end of an era. The dynasty isn't dead just yet. But it's on life support. Warriors' relentless defense secures Game 1 victory, but can it hold without Steph Curry? What should have been a statement win for Golden State turned into a night of uncertainty. The Warriors opened their Western Conference semifinal series with a hard-fought 99-88 win over the Timberwolves, but lost their heartbeat in the process. Steph Curry exited in the second quarter with what was later diagnosed as a left groin strain. He didn't return, and now the question looms: can the Warriors keep this going without him? Game 1 was a showcase of grit and defensive identity, two things that have become the hallmark of this Golden State team, especially since the arrival of Jimmy Butler. Even without Curry orchestrating the offense, the Warriors managed to suffocate Minnesota's attack, relying on a game plan anchored in discipline, rotations, and a little help from the basketball gods as the Timberwolves missed several open looks. It's no fluke, this defense has been elite. Since Butler's arrival, the Warriors posted the best defensive rating in the league during his 31 regular season appearances, allowing just 109.9 points per 100 possessions, according to Cleaning the Glass. Butler's defensive versatility has injected a new edge into the team's DNA. He fights through screens, disrupts passing lanes, and brings a collective toughness that's contagious. That pride in stopping teams was on full display in Game 1, even after Curry was ruled out. The Warriors held the Timberwolves to just 82.2 points per 100 half-court possessions and limited their transition chances to a mere 11.7% of possessions. Every defensive rotation had purpose, and every switch was deliberate, even if the offense, without Curry, struggled to find rhythm. Golden State's own half-court attack ranked in the 16th percentile, scoring just 83.5 points per 100 possessions, far from pretty. But it was just enough. With Butler and Buddy Hield stepping up late, and the defense holding firm, the Warriors pulled through. At the center of it all, Draymond Green, doing what he's done for a decade, anchoring a defense with unmatched IQ, instincts, and leadership. His matchup with Anthony Edwards, one of the league's most explosive young stars, will be a battle to watch all series. Early in Game 1, The Warriors focused on forcing Edwards to be a passer rather than letting him get downhill. When he did manage to attack the rim, Green was there, walling off space and altering shots. It was textbook Draymond: read, rotate, contest, recover. But how long can they sustain this? As the Timberwolves adjust, Golden State will be tested. They know the Warriors' scheme now. They've seen how Green drops back, how Butler tags rollers, how Podziemski, Kuminga, and Hield handle switches. And they'll adapt. They already started to by the end of Game 1. Jaden McDaniels began attacking closeouts, Naz Reid got clean looks from the top of the arc, and Edwards started manipulating screens to draw Green out of his comfort zone. The Timberwolves are actively working to drag Green out of his preferred help positions, involving him directly in pick and rolls and spacing the floor with shooters who can punish late rotations. It's a smart counter. Remove Green from the back line, and suddenly Golden State's safety net gets a little thinner. That's where coaching adjustments come in. Steve Kerr and his staff may need to get creative, toggling between drop coverage, zone, and switches, sometimes all in the same possession. It's a chess match, and every move now carries higher stakes with Curry's return timeline still uncertain. Can Golden State defend like this consistently without Steph's offensive gravity giving them room to breathe? Can Butler and Hield shoulder enough of the scoring load while young players are thrust into bigger roles? The Warriors will need everything: smart rotations, timely shooting, and maybe even a bit of luck, to survive the next few games. But if there's one thing this group has proven, it's that they believe in the fight. They've built a defensive foundation strong enough to bend without breaking. And if they can buy time, if they can hold on until Curry returns, then this series, and their championship hopes, are far from over. In a remarkable Game 1 victory, the Golden State Warriors overcame the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88, despite losing their star player, Stephen Curry, to a left hamstring strain in the second quarter. Curry had contributed 13 points in just 13 minutes before exiting the game. His absence raised concerns, but the team rallied together, showcasing a collective effort that extended their playoff road success to 23 Game 1 victories since 2015. Buddy Hield stepped up significantly, leading the team with 24 points, including 5 three-pointers. Jimmy Butler nearly achieved a triple-double, recording 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Draymond Green added 18 points and marked his 1,000th career playoff assist. The Warriors' defense was particularly impressive, holding the Timberwolves to 39.5% shooting and just 5 for 29 from beyond the arc. Despite the victory, the team faces uncertainty regarding Curry's availability for the upcoming games. Head coach Steve Kerr stated that Curry would be considered day-to-day and would undergo an MRI to determine the extent of the injury. The Warriors are preparing as if Curry will not be available for Game 2, scheduled for Thursday in Minneapolis. The Warriors' ability to secure a win without Curry highlights their depth and resilience. However, sustaining this level of performance without their star player will be challenging. The team will need continued strong contributions from Hield, Butler, Green, and others to maintain their competitive edge in the series. As the series progresses, all eyes will be on Curry's recovery and the Warriors' ability to adapt to his potential absence. The outcome of Game 2 could be pivotal in determining the trajectory of the series.